everyone, welcome to the channel Knock Curiosity. Today we will be studying about the use of microorganisms in farming and also how they are used to keep our environment clean. That is clean technology. First we'll go with clean technology. Now we have seen that in our daily lives what we are using: refrigerator, car, mobile, computer. There is n number of things which are causing some or the other kind of pollution. So the pollution is in the form of water, soil, air pollution. What we need to do is the precautionary measure we have seen in biofuel. That is, if we use the biofuel, we'll produce less pollution. But what about the pollution that is already done? There's huge amount of pollution even today, right now. So how we are going to deal with it? Now what we are doing is we are coping with this pollution. That is, we are trying to reduce this pollution with help of the microorganisms. There are different kind of pollutants. That means the ingredients, the substances that are causing the pollution. So nowadays what we are doing is we are cleaning these pollutants with the help of some or the other microorganisms. Let's see the microorganisms that are useful to clear oil. That is, oil that is spilled all over the ocean causing water pollution. We'll also study the microorganisms that eat plastic. Here I'm using the term eat plastic, but in exam you'll have to write they decompose the plastic. I'll show you a picture. What is this picture? Can you recognize? It is a news article in a newspaper that states that due to the spilling of oil, the oil has spread all over the ocean, and the turtles, fish, everyone has oil on them, causing their death. We know that when we mix oil with water, oil floats on top of water. So when there are some transport of oil through the ocean, and if the oil falls into the ocean in huge quantities, then what happens is it floats all over the ocean. And what happens? This causes the death of the organisms like fish, turtles, and all the marine organisms. Now, secondly, you must have seen many plastic bottles like Bisleri, some cough syrup, etc. So I'll show you a picture. This photograph is from the bottom side of a bottle. What this photograph shows is PET written in a triangle. PET stands for polyethylene terephthalate polyester. Now the plastic bottles are made from this PET, which does not get decomposed in the soil. We know that plastic pollution is a huge problem today. So what we need to do is we need to convert this plastic into something which will get decomposed. Now, which are the microorganisms that are useful? Vibrio, Ideonella sacchensis. These are the microorganisms which decompose this PET. That is, they convert it into some substance that can be just decomposed in the soil. In oil, Pseudomonas species, Alcanovorax, these are the microorganisms that convert the oil into the hydrocarbons and then finally into carbon dioxide and water. You all must have heard about acid rain. What are acid rain? It is that in water some acidic compound has got mixed. This acidic compound is sulfuric compounds, that is sulfur. So what happens is after mining or some other procedure, the sulfur, it goes into the atmosphere. It gets mixed with the rain and then comes back to the soil. But in this process, what happens is the water that is getting down, that is the rain, it becomes acidic. And acidic things are always harmful. Even for the human beings, imagine that you are drinking acidic water. It's so harmful for the body. You must have heard कि एसिड के कारण स्किन जल गई या फिर एसिडिटी हो गई. So the thing is, acidic water is very harmful. It also harms the public property. That is, it causes the erosion. It harms the statues, the buildings. So basically, there is a huge loss everywhere. So what we need to do is we need to control this sulfur content. So for this, various bacteria are produced. Another thing is uranium. Uranium is again a pollutant. It is mostly occurs after emission of atomic energy. So again, this pollutant needs to be converted to some simpler products. Acidophyllum species and Acidobacillus ferruxidens. These are the bacteria. We use it as energy. For example, what we do is we eat plants, we eat food to get energy. So similarly, they eat sulfur to get the energy. Thus, the sulfur pollution is controlled by this bacteria. The bacteria Geobacter, what it does is it converts soluble uranium salt into insoluble uranium salt. What does this mean? It means that you have checked that if you put our normal salt, that is the salt that we eat in water, what happens? It gets mixed. That is, it is soluble in the water. But if you put the soil in the water, it does not get mixed. It just settles down. That is, it is insoluble in water. So what this geobacter does is it converts the soluble uranium salt, that is not the normal salt, that is uranium, into insoluble uranium salt. So it does not get mixed with the water, thus preventing the pollution. Now let's see how these microorganisms are useful in farming. There are two basic applications. First, as a fertilizer, and second, as an insecticide. What are fertilizers? They nourish the plant. They give some nutrients to plant. Which are these nutrients? Nitrogen, potassium, and many other nutrients. Now, how this help? They help in nourishment of the plant. For example, you know that we need calcium, we need iron for our nourishment, for the bones, for blood. Similarly, these nutrients are needed for the plant for their various functions. Now, I'll show you a picture. Can you see what is written on it? It's written Azotobacter inoculant. So it is a biofertilizer. What is it made of? What is in it? It has Azotobacter species, that is a microorganism in it. So this microorganism will spread on the soil. The content in this packet will spread on the soil. So the microorganism will get spread in the soil and it will help the plants for their nourishment. There are various chemical fertilizers also. But these fertilizers, what they do? They cause pollution of the soil. So it's always better to go for microbial, that is microorganism based fertilizers. Microbial inoculants, we call them. Now, these I'll show you two pictures. In the first picture, these are the grains. In the second picture, what you can see is the flask, and in these flasks the microorganisms. Here Azotobacter is there, and when we'll mix this Azotobacter with this grain, what the Azotobacter will do? It will convert the grain into the fertilizer. How? By fermentation. Second thing, insecticides. Now, in the similar way, like biofertilizers, there are insecticides which are of microbial origin. That is, these microorganisms, what they do, they act as insecticides or they act as pesticides, we can say. For example, there's a there's a fungus called trichoderma. What it does is, it's a useful fungus for the plants. It prevents the harmful fungus from attacking the plants. So this is a microbial pesticide. Second thing, this is external application, but there can also be an internal application. As we know that bacteria and fungi, they produce certain toxins. So with the help of biotechnology, what can be done is, these toxins are added in the plant. So when the insect eats the plant, the insect dies. So obviously the plant gets protected again. So this is another application. Like the video, please click on the like button. If you have any queries, put it in the comment box, and do subscribe the channel and press the bell icon to get the notifications of the next videos. Thank you.